Hello everyone! This video will help you describe your research population using inclusion and exclusion criteria. Tingnan muna natin kung ano ang population pag ang context ay research. Dalawa yung kinoconsider dito. First, it is the whole set of elements that have specific characteristics and are of interest to the researcher. Whole set, ibig sabihin, lahat. Lahat ng elements na merong ganong characteristics na hinahanap ng researcher ay kasama sa population. To illustrate this, kunwari ikaw ay magkoconduct ng study na ang gusto mong alamin ay ano ba ang attitudes ng nursing students to members of the LGBTQIA community. Tapos, ang specific lang na characteristic na hinahanap mo sa iyong potential participant ay dapat nursing student siya sa University X. So, lahat ng nursing students sa University X ay kasama sa population mo. Therefore, kung 800 ang nursing students sa University X, then 800 ang size ng population mo. Kasi nga, whole set, lahat. Second thing to consider is that pag population sa research at pinag-uusapan, ang elements ay hindi lang persons. Although, very common, persons yan, but it can refer to practically anything such as objects, organisms, events, countries, organizations, etc. Pero dito sa video na to, para lang ma-facilitate yung discussion, I will be using the term persons. Basta kailangan lang magkaintindihan tayo na hindi lang sa persons naka-refer ang elements ng population, it can refer to practically anything. Okay? There are two sets of criteria that must be considered to determine if a person would be part of the population. And these are inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. What are inclusion criteria? These are specific characteristics that will qualify a person to be part of the study. In other words, para makasama siya sa study, kailangan meron siya nitong mga characteristics na ito. Inclusion criteria may involve characteristics that make the person the best source of data needed in the study because the study is about them. Tungkol sa kanila yung study, so sila talaga ang pipiliin mo. To illustrate this description of inclusion criteria, let's see these examples. First, the title of the study is Adulting Among College Freshmen. Tungkol kanino yung study na to? Tungkol sa college freshmen. So obviously, ang pipiliin mo ay college freshmen. So, kaya pwede mong ilagay sa iyong proposal, ang iyong inclusion criterion is enrolled as a freshman in college in the school year 2024-2025. Second example, the title of the study is Family Support Received by Primiparas During the Puerperium. Tungkol kanino itong study na to? Primiparas. Kaya ang inclusion criterion ay dapat primiparas siya. And third, lived experiences of adolescents with obesity. Tungkol kanino itong study na to? Mga adolescents with obesity. Kaya ang pipiliin mo dapat ay adolescent. Kaya pwede kang mag-set ng age na 13 to 19-year-olds. Or it could be 15 to 18. Bahala ka na kung anong age ang particular na adolescent na pipiliin mo para masali siya doon sa study na to. At kailangan yung adolescent na yon ay obese. Kaya another inclusion criterion is BMI of 30 and above. Last example, title of the study is Practices of Nurses in Caring for Family Survivors of Suicide. Tungkol kanino itong study na to? Tungkol sa mga nurses na nag-care sa mga family na ang family member nila ay nag-suicide. Kaya, sino ang pwedeng isali dito? 1. Nurses who had professional contact with persons who had a family member who committed suicide. Pwede mo silang tanungin kung ano ba yung naging practices nila. Pero pwede rin naman na meron kang another group na idadagdag. Yung mga inalagaan ng nurses na yung kanilang family member ay namatay through suicide. Kasi pwedeng dalawang points of view ang iyong isasali dito. Yung point of view ng nurses, nagsasabi sila anong mga naging practices nila. Yung point of view rin ng family member na magsasabi anong mga practices na nakita nilang ginawa ng mga nurses nung sila ay naalagaan as family survivors of suicide. So ito yung mga examples na inclusion criteria na nakabase kung ano ba yung topic na pinag-uusapan dito sa iyong study. But aside from characteristics that are obviously linked to the research topic, inclusion criteria may also include other characteristics that the researcher has decided to be necessary. To illustrate this, let's see this example. This is an actual list of inclusion criteria from one of the early clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccine. First, adults from 18 to 55 years. Yung researchers na ang nagdetermine kung sinong pasasalihin nila dito based on age. You would note wala yung extremes of ages. Wala yung very young at very old. Most likely, it is for safety purposes kasi yung young and old ay mas unpredictable ang pwedeng maging response nila to certain chemicals such as the vaccine. Kaya, hindi muna sila pinasali dito. Okay, serology with SARS-CoV-2 negative for IgG antibodies. Ang SARS-CoV-2 ay di ba yan yung causative agent ng COVID-19. Kaya, ibig sabihin para mapasali sila dito sa study na to, i-screen muna sila. Kukuha na sila ng blood tapos titingnan kung meron na silang immunity against COVID-19. Kasi kung meron silang antibodies against COVID-19, then hindi sila isasali kasi pag binigyan sila ng vaccine, hindi alam kung yung bang vaccine ang nag-cause ng antibodies o dahil sa previous immunity na nila. Third, willing to allow investigators to access medical records relevant to the study procedures. Kasi later on, makakailangan ng additional data to be able to interpret correctly kung ano man ang naging response nila dun sa COVID-19 vaccine. Kaya, hindi pa sila nag-join ay kinukuhanan na sila ng consent na kung kinakailangan ay i-access ang kanilang medical records. And then, fourth is consent to abstain from blood donation during the study. Kasi di ba, bibigyan sila ng COVID-19 vaccine at ang ine-expect ay magpo-form sila ng antibodies. Ngayon, kung magdo-donate sila ng blood, mababawasan yung dugo na nagko-contain ng antibodies and this can affect the result of the study. Then for female participants, willing to practice continuous birth control during the study para hindi likely na sila ay mabubuntis. And then, a negative pregnancy test on the screening and vaccination days para sigurado na hindi sila buntis during the time na nag-undergo sila ng study na to. Kasi hindi nga sure kung ano pwede maging effect ng COVID-19 vaccine sa fetus. So this is again for safety purposes. So nakita na natin ang inclusion criteria. And just to review again, inclusion criteria are specific characteristics that will qualify a person to join the study. Ito namang exclusion criteria ay specific characteristics that will disqualify a person from the study. Bago tayo mag-proceed kung ano ba ang exclusion criteria, i-test nyo muna kung anong alam ninyo. True or false? If being female is an inclusion criterion, then being male is an exclusion criterion. The correct answer is false. Exclusion criteria do not refer to the opposite of inclusion criteria. This is a common misconception of students. Akala, porket ang inclusion criterion ay female, then automatically exclusion criterion ay male. No. Exclusion criteria are additional characteristics of persons who meet the inclusion criteria. Ibig sabihin, pasok na sana sila eh. Qualified na sana kung inclusion criteria lang ang pinag-uusapan eh. Kaso, meron pa silang iba pang characteristics na, oops, hindi pala kayo pwedeng isali, out kayo. Ano ba tong additional characteristics na to? These are characteristics that could interfere with the success of the study. Examples? Characteristics that will likely make the potential participant be lost to follow-up. This is especially relevant kung yung study ay medyo matagalan. Kung yung potential participant ay pwede siya sa una pero hindi siya pwede hanggang dulo ng study, then wag na lang siyang isali dito sa study na to. Kasi hindi rin naman niya makukumpleto eh. Hindi, pumili ka na lang ng potential na participant na masigurado na makakakumpleto ng study. Or these are characteristics that will likely provide inaccurate data. Kaya, pag mag-i-interview ka, at gusto mo na yung participant ay mag-share ng kanyang experiences, huwag mong isasali yung mga participants na likely ay iba ang kanilang i-share kasi pwedeng may mga problema na sa memory, diba? Kaya yung mga merong demensya ay hindi natin usually sinasali pag interview ang ating ginagamit or pag self-report ang ating ginagamit na data collection kasi hindi tayo nakakasiguro kung yung ipro-provide nila na data ay accurate. Or characteristics also that will likely cause bias in the results. Example, ikaw ay magpe-pre-test, post-test, experimental na study. Gusto mong malaman kung effective yung certain technique of teaching. Tapos, doon sa pre-test, merong nakakuha na ng perfect score. Isasali mo ba siya doon sa study mo? Kung the same post-test ang iyong gagamitin, anong ina-expect mo na makukuha niya sa post-test? Most likely, perfect din, di ba? So, anong difference ng kanyang pre-test at post-test? Zero. Anong mai-indicate ito? Ay, hindi pala effective itong teaching technique na to kasi wala namang difference dun sa level of knowledge niya from the start at from the at the end or after the intervention. Pero, that is just particularly true for that certain person, for that participant. Kaya, huwag mong isali yung participant na to. Kung hindi, aakalain mo na hindi pala effective ang iyong teaching technique na tinetest. Exclusion criteria may also include those additional characteristics that could increase the risk for the participants. Example, physical or mental conditions that may be aggravated by their participation in the study. For instance, gusto mo mag-conduct ng study sa mga older persons para malaman mo kung anong epekto ng certain exercise regimen sa memory ng older persons. Kaso, may mga older persons na may uncontrolled hypertension. Ang problema dyan, pag nag-exercise sila, baka naman biglang tumaas ang kanilang BP at mapahamak sila. Diba? Kaya, i-exclude mo sila dito sa study na to. Kasi mataas ang risk na ma-aggravate ang kanilang condition. Okay, let's see this example. Ito yung continuation ng clinical trial for COVID-19 vaccine. Kung sa una ay nag-focus tayo sa inclusion criteria, dito naman mag-focus tayo sa exclusion criteria. And let's say this is the situation. A female wishes to participate in the clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccine. She meets all the inclusion criteria. So, pasok na siya pagdating sa inclusion criteria, pero kailangan nating malaman kung meron ba siyang exclusion criterion. So, which of these factors will exclude her from participating? Severe psychiatric illness? Is this an exclusion criterion? Yes, it is. Dependence on alcohol or drugs? Is this an exclusion criterion? Yes, it is. Bakit? Itong dalawa na to, severe psychiatric illness and dependence on alcohol or drugs, may determine whether a person is going to be accessible to be a participant to the clinical trial until the end. Ang possibility, pag merong ganitong condition, baka hindi siya makapagtuloy hanggang sa end ng clinical trial. Kaya hindi siya dapat isali. Next, prior receipt of a vaccine against coronavirus. This is going to affect the results kasi kung lumabas na nag-develop siya ng immunity, lumabas na sa kanyang blood test na nag-develop siya ng IgG antibodies, then ano ang cause? Hindi na ngayon malaman kung yung cause ba ay yung present na COVID-19 vaccine o yung dati na na-receive niya na COVID-19 vaccine. Therefore, out itong tao na to. HIV positive state, severe heart disease, lactation, lahat ito ay exclusion criteria rin ang reason kasi hindi natin alam kung ano pwede maging epekto ng COVID-19 vaccine na tatanggapin ng participant dun sa kanyang condition. HIV positive siya, mababa ang kanyang immunity. Pag binigyan mo ng vaccine na nagko-contain ng weakened na virus, it may be possible na instead na maprotektahan siya ay maging COVID-19 positive siya. Severe heart disease, hindi rin alam kung anong epekto sa tao na mayroong severe heart disease, kaya out dapat ito. Lactation, when the study was being done, it was not established yet whether the COVID-19 virus could be transmitted through breast milk and could affect the breastfeeding baby. Later on, it was established safe na. Pero dahil nga, during the time that this study was being conducted, hindi pa sigurado. So, ito ay considered na exclusion criteria rin. So, to summarize, Pag sinabi natin inclusion criteria, consider that as first screening. Anyone who does not have all of the inclusion criteria is automatically out. Kaya para maipasok ka sa study, kailangan nasa iyo lahat yung inclusion criteria. Pero hindi pa automatic na ikaw ay in kasi first screening pa lang yan. Yung exclusion criteria nagsaserve as second screening. Those who met the inclusion criteria are screened again for additional characteristics, and anyone who has an exclusion criterion is out. That means, kahit isa lang na exclusion criterion ang meron ka, hindi ka pwedeng mag-join dito sa research. Titingnan natin yung application, pero before we proceed, if you have not subscribed yet, please click the subscribe button. Alright, application. You will conduct a study on the effect of honey and lemon on cough in older persons. Determine which of the following are inclusion criteria and which are exclusion criteria. 60 years or older, taking medication for cough with known allergy to honey, with cough that started 1 to 2 days ago, with symptoms that indicate that the person's condition is more serious than an uncomplicated URTI such as fever, chest pain, drowsiness, confusion, hemoptysis, dyspnea, wheezes, and other adventitious sounds. 60 years or older is an inclusion criterion. Kasi, di ba, tungkol sa older persons ito. Kaya nag-set ka nga ng age na nag-i-indicate na older yung tao. Taking medication for cough is an exclusion criterion kasi kung nagbigay ka ng honey and lemon dito sa tao na to at nag-improve ang kanyang condition, hindi mo alam kung yung improvement ng condition niya ay dahil sa honey and lemon o dahil ba sa medication. With known allergy to honey is obviously an exclusion criterion because you will put the person at risk if you include the person in this study. With cough that started less than 2 days ago, this is an inclusion criterion. Obviously, kailangan merong cough yung tao para mapasali siya dito sa study nito. Bakit less than 2 days ang start? Kasi, pag upper respiratory tract infection lang yan, self-limiting commonly. Kahit walang intervention, mariresolve. Kunwari, 5 days na yung cough o 7 days na yung cough, tapos sinari mo pa rin siya dito sa study nito at binigyan mo ng honey and lemon at nag-improve yung cough ng pasyente na wala. Baka naman, hindi dahil sa honey and lemon, kundi dahil talagang pagaling na yung pasyente. With symptoms that indicate that the person's condition is more serious than an uncomplicated URTI, this is an exclusion criterion because the case of this person needs additional intervention. Hindi pwede na honey and lemon lang ang ibibigay sa kanya. Kaya, hindi natin siya isasali dito sa study. So to summarize, the title of the study is The Effect of Honey and Lemon on Cough in Older Persons. Inclusion criteria are 60 years or older and with cough that started less than 2 days ago. Exclusion criteria are taking medication for cough with known allergy to honey and with symptoms that indicate that the person's condition is more serious than an uncomplicated URTI.